Hi, this is John Mazzarella. We're here in Greci, Italy, and standing in front of St. Bartolomeo, the Apostle Church, which is the home church of Greci. It's really I think it was opened in 1686, and it's the Catholic Church here in town, and it's the place where my grandfather and grandmother were baptized and where they were married. And here's Nick. And
Hi, I'm Nick Norton. My grandparents are both from Greci, and they also were baptized in this church.
This church represents a lot to the people here in town. It's at the highest point of the city, and it's kind of windy up here, but each year this city and this town and the people in the town have a feast day for St. Bartolomeo, and they reenact his passion, his end of his life. And it's really something that has carried through from not only here at Greci, but it has gone through to places in the United States. My grandfather in Canton, Ohio, played St. Bartolomeo the Apostle. Down one of the little narrow roads here in Greci, our friend Nicola Palumbo drives down sometimes with a little car, and we wonder how he can make it through some of these steep little streets. But this is kind of what Greci looks like. It's all up and down hills. We're headed right now to the park in the city. This is called the Paseo, right? The place where you take a walk. And this is really kind of a neat place because it's all up here where the houses are real close together. You can walk here, and it's a beautiful park, and it's really kind of on a couple different levels. It's been remodeled here recently, and it has new walkways, and this is some of the original homes in Greci. As you can see, they're built right inside of the side of the mountain, and we're real high here on the mountain, and basically the people dug into the mountain and built their home, and the house doesn't look like it's pretty high, but when you go in, there's two levels. There's a level at the bottom where they would sometimes keep some of their animals, and then there's a level up on the back, which is, you could kind of see where the top of the roof is where they slept. And one of the good things about this, if you were down in the valley and you were looking up, you didn't see the homes because they were kind of camouflaged. And in the early days, this was kind of a strategic thing because it kept the city safe, and the people could see people coming up the hill, but they didn't know how many people were here. So this is kind of right on the edge of the park, because the park is up there and the mountain goes down. We'll show you over the side of the mountain, but right now a lot of times these little homes are just used for storage, or maybe they put some animals in it or what, but it looks like down at the end somebody's rebuilding that one. We're now at the top, on top of the mountain, walking through the park, and you can see down here are those Brago homes that we saw from the other side. You can see that there isn't really much space inside them. I know if the cameraman here can stand up on the fence, he can kind of point and show you what the inside of one looks like, because here's one where the roof caved in. Wasn't much space for a family, but that's where a lot of our grandparents lived. We're now at the edge of the park and looking down on another mountain over there in another city. That's Avellino. You know, Greci was settled by Albanians, and that city over there on the top of that mountain was settled by Norman soldiers. Both fought in the Crusades, and both fought to help the king of Naples out when they were invaded. So you can see, I think, at the top of the city over there, there's a fort, and the fort was where the Normans had their facility. But the town has grown, and now it has an upper part and a lower part. You actually come down on the road to the lower part, and you travel up the mountain to go to the highest part. So there were some families who married other families from Greci back and forth, so that's kind of nice to know. But the people over there on Avellino, a lot of them probably never came up to Greci, and a lot of the people in Greci never went down to the other and go up that mountain. So they were kind of separated, the two communities. The kids up on the hill, because on the top level there's a park for the children. There aren't too many children left here in Greci. I know that the school, the elementary school, only has about 20 people that go to it. I think there's only really one guy or two guys, and the rest are all girls. Some of the people who live here are retirees and people who have worked up north and came back, and they fixed up the old family home and moved into the family home and stay here. It's probably a lot cheaper to stay in Greci than it would be to stay in Torino, where they worked for Fiat or worked for one of the other big companies. Unfortunately, Greci, the only work here in Greci is maybe doing some farming or gardening, and a lot of the people do, because you see a lot of tractors and so forth, but they're producing the food for their own use. They're not selling it or doing anything. But this park is really great. We enjoy walking it every time we come here to visit. On a warmer day, you would probably see a lot more people out, but especially when they have their big feast day for St. Bartolomeo in August. The town goes from maybe 500-600 people to a couple thousand people, because a lot of people take off their vacation for 1 month in August, and it's kind of a tradition to go back to your hometown. And when it's real hot in Rome or real hot in Naples, it's always cool up here on the top of the mountain in Greci. We're standing over here right beside one of the rebuilt homes. When I first came here, one of my early visits, I met Maria Mazzarella, who happens to be my grandfather's brother's son's daughter. And she now is a fairly old woman, but you still see her walking around the town every once in a while. But she built this new house really on top of the old house. Here, these are some homes that you can see on the bottom. Now they have a garage, and that's really where they used to live. And now they've rebuilt. When they were rebuilt, they put a second story on them, because the view is great. The view over the valley. And we're going to go around the corner here, and we're going to come up. Hopefully it's still standing. I haven't seen it since last August when I was here, but one of the Brega homes that belonged to my great-grandmother.